Mowgli was running wild in the forest. He went through a hole in a tree. One jump, he broke a branch and fell down. At that moment, the panther caught him in its claws. But the boy was calm. It turns out that many years ago, Mowgli and his father came to the cave. Suddenly, a tiger appeared. His father fought the tiger. In the end, father was killed. The tiger was wounded, and Mowgli was left behind in the cave. Then a black panther came in. Mowgli wasn't afraid. He even touched his nose. From then on, the panther became his mentor, and he took Mowgli to live with the wolves. In the company of the wolves, Mowgli grew up. Time passed, and the forest became dry. That day, everyone was drinking from the peaceful rock, and then the tiger arrived. He smelled the human scent. He forced the wolves to hand over the boy, but the wolves refused to give in. The tiger was very angry because their ancestors made a rule that there should be no killing during the dry season. So the tiger just gave up. The drought was over. It was raining heavily. Mowgli Saturday on a rock sadly. He hid in his tent, watching the wolves argue about him. Mowgli got up and told everyone he was leaving. Some agreed, some disagreed, and then Panther said that the safest thing for him was just to go back to the village. And then the king of the wolves agreed. The mom had no choice. Mowgli hugged her head tightly and said goodbye to them. They walked through waterfalls, over cliffs, into a basin. Then they came to a field of grass. Mowgli walked carelessly, but the alert panther sensed something was wrong. Suddenly, the tiger came out. Tiger and panther fight fiercely. The panther was knocked out by the tiger's slap. Just as the boy is being overtaken by the tiger, a fleeing bison hits the tiger. The boy jumped straight into the gully. While the tiger was staring at him, the boy looked at the running bison and thought of a good idea. He jumped onto the bison's back. The tiger was furious. He went to the wolf's habitat and directly killed the king wolf. On the other hand, the boy was on the bull's back and consolidated encountered a landslide. He had to jump into the water and ride a canoe to another forest. The boy was walking in the forest. He bumped into something. He pulled it up and saw that it was just a huge python skin. He looked at it for a few moments, but it wasn't edible, so he left it behind. Then he picked a bunch of fruit from a tree. He sat it down on a rock and ate it. Suddenly, some raccoons stole the fruit from behind. Mogly chased them into the quietest part of the forest. Then a huge python appeared. The boy stared into the eyes of the python. He saw himself and father coming into the forest. He saw his life through the eyes of the snake, and the boy's eyes were lost. He was already wrapped up in the snake. Just as the python opened its mouth, a brown bear appeared. He was confused and felt that someone was rescuing him. Mogly opened his eyes and saw the nose of a brown bear. He cried out, however, after he realized that it was just the brown bear that had saved him. Mogly was not grateful. He was just desperate to get out of there. Wherever Mogly went, the bear followed. Turns out, the bear was just doing it for a reason. The bear wanted to eat bees, but he can't climb the cliff. Mogly couldn't stand his behavior, so he reluctantly agreed. Mogly was intelligent. Soon, with the help of a vine, he stomped on the bee's trough. Eventually, the bear got a taste of the delicious honey. In order to avoid being stung by the bees, Mogly improved his skills. Then he harvested a lot more honey. In return, the bear brought him to play in the water. While they were water skiing and singing, a noise came from the bushes nearby. Guess who was just coming? Mogly thought it was just a tiger and was terrified. They slowly climbed up to the shore, but they realized it was just their master, Panther. One day, Mogly had a quarrel with a panther. He hid in a tree and was captured by the gorillas. Mogly was thrown off a cliff by an orangutan, and there is just a huge castle in front of us. Entering the castle, a giant hand reaches out from the darkness. He grabbed a handful of fruit and disappeared into the darkness. He was just a giant gorilla. The gorilla captured Mogly because he wanted Mogly to teach him how to use a torch so that he could rule the forest. But Mogly grew up with wolves. He didn't know how to use a torch. The gorilla was furious. Then the bear and the panther arrived. The bear's passionate speech immediately caught the gorilla's attention. On the other hand, the panther guides Mogly to sneak out the side. Just as he's about to leave, he's spotted by a young gorilla. The gorilla is furious. With a roar, the gorilla goes out to get him. Soon Mogly was stopped. The gorilla told him the king of the wolves has been killed by the tiger. Mogly was so upset that he wanted to take revenge on the tiger. So he jumped quickly from the window, and the gorilla was crushed by the castle's collapse. Mogly stole a torch from a human village. He was ready to take revenge on the tiger. He ran too fast on the road and left the fire on the road. The whole forest was on fire. Mogly led the tiger into the forest. By his own ingenuity, the tiger fell into the fire and died. The elephants were grateful, and they stopped the river and put out the forest fire. In the end, Mogly and the others lived peacefully in the forest again.